ability to take those experiences to you on your phone wherever you go is a critical part of where we're going to go. And we'll have our customers will choose what they want to play, and I think that's fine. That's our job, is to give them the choice, and they will vote with what they want.
iPhones or Android phones, the upgrade cycle is really quick, but you don't necessarily need a new phone to run the old apps. It's been 3 years since Xbox One X, so is like a 3-year cycle for new hardware going to be maybe a milestone? Or
this is completely honest. We don't have a timeline for when future console has to come. What we do as a team with our hardware engineers and our creators is we think about what is the next mark that we can make that will actually matter to the experience itself. So
don't just dream about your next vacation. Book your next vacation. Be a booker at Booking.com.
I really love the Olay Regenerous Whip. The hardest thing about SPF, of course, is how it feels, especially for a woman of color. Sometimes that chalkiness is just really,
I use Olay moisturizers literally on the daily. It's not a crazy, like, bright, shiny finish.
It smells so good. I'm really excited to try this since I know a lot of people who swear by this moisturizer. It is a whipped, and I mean whipped texture, guys. It's so light and fluffy.
So let's talk about our next console. This is Project Scarlet, the most powerful and highest performing console we've ever designed.
So we just heard about the future of Xbox, and I'm really interested in the new console. We're talking about how powerful it's going to be, and we're talking about the next generation with xCloud.
Some big ass is.
I wonder what the timeline, the support timeline looks like for the Xbox One S and the Xbox One.
It's interesting when I look at the community of people who play on Xbox even right now. We have millions and millions of players who are still on 360s, and they're still playing. And I think that's an important thing in gaming right now, is as companies that run large platforms that have a lot of first-party games or even support for third-party games, reaching the players where that player wants to play and not making it about the things that we need is critically important. So in terms of S and X timelines specifically, I don't have anything to announce, nor to even have like dates in my head. But the fact that we have millions of people still playing on their 360 and having a great time, I think those platforms have years and years ahead of them, and that's a good thing for the industry.
This October, you'll be able to use our hybrid gaming cloud to play your games wherever you go.
Streaming video games changes the entire industry.
Yeah.
The ability to access games in that way. And technically, a 1080p console, a console that could only go up to 1080p, could exist, in perpetuity with streaming. You could play all the new games just at 1080p.
Right.
So what is the benefit of a new console, I guess, in this generation?
Yeah, we really focus on choice for our players. We see it today where we have certain players that want to play games on their PCs, and that's the experience they want. We have certain people who love to play on their consoles and their television. A lot of players that like to play in both places. And when we think about streaming, I think initially for us it is really about another choice for players when they're away from their console and they want to take that experience with them. I think when you look out longer term, we will start reaching new customers with streaming who don't have a gaming PC and don't have a console, and we clearly have that in mind when we think about the future of Project xCloud. But we also know that early on, the support for our customers that are there, and frankly, those are the customers that always use the first things that we put out, is going to be an important thing. So gamer choice, give you access to the games that you want to play. We do that through Game Pass and through our growing first party and the support we have from third parties, the thousands of games in development, allowing you to stay connected with all your players regardless of what device. Xbox Live is across all of these experiences, whether you're on PC, a console, or Project xCloud. And then with the cloud, having the ability to take those experiences to you on your phone wherever you go is a critical part of where we're going to go. And we'll have our customers will choose what they want to play, and I think that's fine. That's our job, is to give them the choice, and they will vote with what they want.
iPhones or Android phones. The upgrade cycle is really quick, but you don't necessarily need a new phone to run the old apps. It's been 3 years since Xbox One X, so is like a 3-year cycle for new hardware going to be maybe a milestone? Or
this is completely honest. We don't have a timeline
Yeah.
for when future console has to come. What we do as a team with our hardware engineers and our creators is we think about what is the next mark that we can make that will actually matter to the experience itself. So you mentioned Xbox One X. When we define that, we really set a goal to deliver 4K games. And we said that if we can't reach 4K with that console, that we shouldn't do anything that's less than 4K. Doesn't mean every game or every developer is going to target 4K on the box, but we knew we could build really quality games. So when we started on Project Scarlet, it was about how do these great games look and how they feel. So for us, it was a big focus on frame rate. In fact, for the last couple of years, I've been talking about that, kind of foreshadowing,
Yeah.
which meant focus on the CPU, focus on frame rate, variable refresh rate, ensuring the box can go up to 120 frames per second, working with TV manufacturers on what does it mean for the TVs to support variable refresh rate and higher frame rates so that the games feel as good as they look. And both of those things are going to get better in the next generation.
Talking about Project Scarlet, I think I heard 8K capability.
Yeah.
So I wonder, what does 8K capability mean in Project Scarlet?
We've never been a platform, or never is probably too strong. We're not a platform today that tries to dictate creative to creators. When we say, here's the capability the box has, we know developers are going to target the right experience for their game. Even today, some games on our platform target 1080p 60 frames per second. Some target 4K 60 frames per second. Some target 4K 30 frames per second. So what we're saying in Project Scarlet is the box is capable of doing 8K. It's also capable of doing 120 hertz. Now, what a developer decides they actually want to do for their experience is going to be up to their game. And I think that's important. We create the canvas, they do the art. It is a capability of the box, just like 120 frames per second, and creators will find the right spot for them.
Today, we invite those of you here at E3 for our first public hands-on of Project xCloud.
A lot of things are in your control with the hardware itself and the ecosystem you're building, but connection speeds are not necessarily in your control. So, like, what is the required or recommended connection speed for both streaming to the cloud and streaming locally?
One of the reasons with Project xCloud that we're not coming in and trying to tell people to stop doing what they were doing before and to adopt streaming today as the only way that they should play is because of what you point out. Like, we know that our players today love the experience of controller in their hand, keyboard and mouse in their hand, screen local compute. And we look at streaming as something, as we talked about before, that's additive to the experience that they have. So when we look at the capability of what's going to be required with Project xCloud today, we're running on 4G, and it plays fine. I use it. I'm not trying to say it's recreating the experience you have as an Xbox One X, in your family room connected to your TV. It's a different experience than that, but it does go with you. So it is about creating a new, unique experience, not trying to replicate what you have. The out-of-home streaming, just like you said, will dictate by your out-of-house upload speeds. Different people have different connection speeds. People can kind of mess with this already today, and people will work on getting them the specific specs, but I think on what they require. But I think all of it is around us giving people choice,
Yeah.
and not trying to say that the console you have today is bad, or that you shouldn't be playing on a PC today, or somehow downloading your games so that you can play them offline is bad. This is really just about giving people choice and allowing them to have the experience that they want to have.
Console streaming. It turns your Xbox One into your own personal and free xCloud server.
Are you worried at all about, like, with the local streaming, device to device? Is that something that's a trickier kind of thing to do at all?
I definitely would say that it's up to the user. User has more control
Yeah.
over their in-home experience, which is why we're building both.
Yeah.
Right? So that, because we know even something like, okay, I left my console on so I can stream from my console, that's great. Somebody wants to turn off the console, or they want to play another game on that console. The fact that over time, this hybrid gaming cloud that has Xboxes in the data centers and Xboxes in the home, where you can fairly quickly move your state between those two things, I mean, as you travel around or different things happen in your home, we'll be able to replicate the experience so that you're able to just continue to game.
This is Halcyon, the furthest colony in the galaxy, proudly owned and operated by corporations. But a stranger has just arrived. Someone who could be a villain, a hero, or a psychopath. The colony will never be the same.
You decide. So let's talk about our next console. For us, the console is vital and central to our experience. We heard you. A console should be designed and built and optimized for one thing and one thing only: gaming. So the same team that created the world's most powerful console, Xbox One X, and innovated its groundbreaking processor and the Elite controller, the same team that engineered the world-class compatibility of today's Xbox One consoles, the same team that set the bar for live gaming services with Xbox Live, this same team set out on a new mission: to create the future of gaming for you.
When we think about the future of gaming, it's not just PC, it's not just console, it's not just mobile, it's really all of the above.
Xbox is all about choice. We're investing in technology all throughout the game stack.
The games you want with the people you want on the devices that you want.
And for us, that starts with our next generation console.
We don't want to build just another console. We truly want it to be transformative.
More immersion, more exploration, more detail.
How do we make it easier for people to get into the game, to stay in the game?
One of the things that gamers and developers are incredibly excited about is reducing load times.
I'm an RPG gamer, and so loading screens are a thing.
Sitting there in the fake elevator because you know that the game's loading in the background. This is just an elevator ride forever.
That's our goal with gaming, is that you don't have those pauses.
This generation is going to be a bigger leap than any generation we've done before.
At the heart of our next generation console is our custom design processor, leveraging the latest Zen 2 and Navi technology from our partners at AMD. From a pure processing perspective, this is 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. We're leveraging high bandwidth GDDR6 to ensure that we're getting the best performance possible.
It's going to usher in resolution and frame rates that we've never seen before. Never seen before.
We're looking at frame rates up to 120 frames per second.
8K capability, variable refresh rate.
Next gen ray tracing. It's real time because it's hardware accelerated for the first time ever.
What I'm personally most excited about is the SSD.
We've created a new generation of SSDs. We're actually using the SSD as virtual RAM.
We're seeing more than 40 times performance increases over the current generation.
The combination of the SoC and the solid-state drive are really what gives you a totally new experience.
Now we can take all of that power and apply it back into the scene, so we can actually generate more life in that world and bring it to the gamer in a seamless way.
So that then you're fully experiencing what the game developer wants you to experience.
When you can move through worlds without waiting for screens to load, that speed, that performance is what the next generation is about.
This is the most immersive console experience ever.
What we really want to do is give developers the power to build the game they've always envisioned.
We have hundreds of people across both our first-party studios as well as our third-party studios working on those next-generation experiences today.
It's an amazing commitment to content at Xbox Game Studios. There's 13 studios, 7 in the last year. That's a big family.
At 343, for us it's always about more seamless worlds,
With the next generation, we can bring the world to life in a way we've never experienced Halo before.
We're delivering 4 generations of content better than you've ever seen them before.
This console is especially awesome for Game Pass members. With the faster load times, you're going to be able to experience all the games within just a snap of your fingers.
We're giving gamers the option to connect across devices and across platforms in a way that we never were able to before.
This isn't just a console launch. This is about the future of gaming.
Your games, your achievements, your progression, your accessories, your console gaming experience with Xbox, it all comes forward with Scarlet. It eats monsters for breakfast.
This is Project Scarlet, the most powerful and highest performing console we've ever designed. Built for creators to unleash their boldest creative visions and optimized for players to enjoy the ultimate gaming experience on a console anywhere. Immersive experiences begin at the very heart of the console, at the silicon level itself. Together with our partners at AMD, we have co-engineered and custom designed a state-of-the-art processor for Project Scarlet. Power you could see defined previous generations. Power and performance you can see and feel defines Project Scarlet. When we talk about freedom to play, when we talk about Xbox in the cloud, when we talk about streaming your games, Project Scarlet and all of its power and all of its performance is the foundation of our future in console and the formation of our future in cloud. We launched Xbox 18 years ago with the game reviewers called the definitive reason to own an Xbox. Well, because humanity was and is worth saving, next holiday, we will launch Project Scarlet with Halo.
Xbox's biggest competitor right now isn't PlayStation, it's Google. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Microsoft messed up big time with the launch of the Xbox One. It announced a console that required an internet connection and tied games to specific accounts. This complicated the sharing and reselling process, and executives repeatedly dismissed fans' concerns. When Phil Spencer announced a $499 price tag for the Xbox One at E3 2013, the audience gasped and fell silent.
At $499 in the US, and 499 euros in European markets, and 429 pounds in the UK.
Just hours later, Sony presented the PlayStation 4 as the balm to Xbox's burn. It had none of the complicated online policies and would cost just $399. The crowd went wild.
PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
Microsoft did a U-turn on many of its controversial policies soon after E3, but the damage was done. The PlayStation 4 went on to outsell the Xbox One almost 2 to 1. Sales don't tell the whole story though. Almost exactly a year ago today, I looked back on Microsoft's original plan for the Xbox One and realized it made a lot of sense. Fortnite, Destiny, Apex Legends, Overwatch, the biggest games of this generation are online only. Online purchases have outstripped sales of physical discs since 2013. Microsoft has used its underdog position to revitalize its image. The launch of the world's most powerful console, the Xbox One X, along with gamer-friendly initiatives like Xbox Game Pass and its embrace of crossplay for titles like Fortnite, has it riding high. Pressure from Xbox and Nintendo has even forced Sony to adopt cross-console play at least in a few titles. To cap everything off, Microsoft launched an all-digital version of the Xbox One in March, finally making its dream for this generation a reality. This is how it's been for nearly 18 years. Sometimes Xbox is on top, sometimes PlayStation, but the pair push and pull at each other's business models, setting the standards of console gaming in the process. However, the video game universe is expanding. Streaming is the next obvious step, and Google is diving in with Stadia, a cloud service that promises the ability to stream any title to any device. If it works, it'll permanently alter the way we play games. Only one gaming company is currently poised to compete with Stadia. Spoiler, it isn't Sony. Microsoft has been preparing for this for years. The company has its own cloud infrastructure, and it's building a streaming service codenamed Project xCloud. Every game that runs on Xbox One, including Xbox 360 titles, will be playable via xCloud, giving the service a debut lineup of more than 3,500 titles. A beta is expected this year, which Microsoft will likely talk about in just a few hours at its E3 event. Now, Stadia. At its top tier and with a connection of at least 35 megabits per second, Google's streaming service promises lag-free, 4K HDR gaming at 60 frames per second, all on a Chromecast Ultra, Pixel 3, or any laptop or PC. It'll have over 30 games available at launch, including Borderlands 3, Destiny 2, and Mortal Kombat 11, which Google says will load and be fully playable in about 5 seconds. That is, if it works. Companies like OnLive and Gaikai promised seamless game streaming in the past, but they were clearly deployed too soon. PlayStation Now, which came from Sony's purchase of Gaikai, still doesn't offer consistent or reliable gameplay. Google argues that Stadia will work because of its dense global cloud network and direct peering relationships with major internet service providers. However, Google doesn't have a special relationship with every ISP in the world. Rural internet generally sucks, and fiber isn't available to 70% of the nation. Google is promising a perfect version of streaming, and in November, it'll have to deliver. Whatever happens, Microsoft will be watching and learning. Xbox is the only gaming brand that has Google-like server expertise, and Microsoft is one of the few technology companies with the resources and experience in cloud computing to make game streaming a reality. Sony can't compete with this tier, and executives there know it. Microsoft and Sony announced a cloud partnership this May, which will let Sony tap into data centers and AI services. The partnership will help Sony build out its own streaming service, but it's also a sign that Microsoft is a leader in this space. Sony hasn't shied away from talking about its new PlayStation console, and we know it's a traditional upgrade. The company is promising better graphics and loading times in the hope that gamers will buy the new hardware and keep buying its games. Microsoft is pivoting away from this model. Sure, it'll still release new consoles with beefed up guts, but the business behind those boxes has shifted. $15 a month today gets you the company's Game Pass Ultimate, which combines Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass. It's also testing the waters with an online-only console, happily enabling crossplay and expanding its PC offerings, even going as far as putting Halo on Steam. In short, Xbox has broken free of its console gaming parameters and is setting its sights on the broader tech and games space. PlayStation isn't Xbox's top concern any longer. Google is massive enough that Stadia could crash and burn, and Google could walk away unscathed, a lot like it did with Fiber, and YouTube Gaming, and Google+, and Glass, and I could go on. Xbox and PlayStation are brands with reputations and revenue streams to protect. Microsoft was wrong before, and there's no guarantee that it's right this time. However, streaming will play a huge role in the future of video games. Over the next decade, it's likely that Xbox and PlayStation brands will evolve into services like HBO Now or Netflix. Consoles will be, and are already becoming, less important. In this world, content is king. PlayStation has a history rich in exclusive franchises, and Xbox has a few of its own. Plus, it just bought a handful of notable studios. Microsoft and Sony will probably go toe-to-toe on games forever. But right now, Microsoft and Google are fighting over where those games exist.
It's such a pleasure to be here today, and thank you for joining us at GDC as we finally get to share Google's vision for the future of games. Our vision for Stadia is simple. One place for all the ways we play. It's focused on gamers, inspired by developers, and amplified by YouTube creators. Imagine you are watching games on YouTube. and you discover the latest Assassin's Creed Odyssey trailer on Ubisoft's official channel on YouTube. You will notice the Play Now button. By simply clicking on that button, the player is brought directly into the game in a browser in as quick as 5 seconds. With Stadia, this waiting game will be a thing of the past. There is basically no hardware acceleration on that laptop whatsoever, and the game is running directly from our data center. It's then easy and instantaneous to move that same game experience from exactly that moment onto the phone, here on a Pixel 3 XL. And we can go straight onto the desktop PC. We actually went to buy the least powerful PC we could find here. And then it's once again seamless to go from running on our PC to running on a tablet. And then finally, we then move seamlessly to the TV. And so this TV is accessed using this, which is a Chromecast Ultra HDMI streamer. We're also enabling players to use your existing USB controller or mouse and keyboard when playing Stadia on a laptop or PC. But of course, we will have our own controller that has been uniquely designed to enhance the experience for the Stadia player. I'd like to introduce you to the newest member of the Google hardware family, the Stadia controller. It enables you to access the full Stadia experience, and there are many advantages to the Stadia controller. And the first is that it will connect through Wi-Fi directly to the game that is running in the Google data center. The Stadia controller identifies which screen or device you want to play on and links it with your game session running in the cloud, ensuring the highest possible performance and the best experience for players. The Stadia controller features 2 very important new buttons. The capture button is for sharing and saving your game experience back out to YouTube. The gamer can choose to share their experiences starting with a click of this button. And the second one is the Google Assistant button. Pressing this button allows players to immediately access the controller's built-in microphone so they can get help from the assistant for special in-game features integrated by developers.
We've built Stadia's architecture on top of the Google Data Center network. The network consists of fiber optic links and subsea cables between hundreds of points of presence and more than 7,500 edge node locations around the globe. More edge nodes mean the compute resources are closer to players, which results in better performance. When Stadia launches, we will have increased performance significantly to support resolutions up to 4K at 60 frames per second with HDR and surround sound. And in the future, we'll be able to stream games in up to 8K resolution. In addition to the stream you get as a player, there is a second simultaneous stream at 4K 60 frames per second that you can choose to share directly to YouTube from the Stadia data center, meaning your gaming memories will be saved at the highest possible quality. As a developer, you're used to being forced to tone down your creative ambition that are limited by the hardware. But our vision with Stadia is that the processing resources available will scale up to match your imagination. In this new generation, the data center is your platform. We've partnered with our friends at AMD to build a custom GPU. And here's how the graphical power of Stadia compares to the top 2 consoles in the market. 10.7 teraflops is more powerful than the top 2 consoles of the previous generation combined. Stadia will be using the Linux operating system and the Open Graphics API, Vulkan. And when it comes to game engines, we are excited to announce that we have partnered with Unreal, who will be fully supporting the Stadia platform. We are also partnering with Unity to bring full support for the 2 most popular and familiar game engines to our development community. And we're empowering developers with an amazing array of familiar middleware that you already use to power your game development, including the most popular physics engine, Havoc.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having us here, Phil and Majd. We couldn't be happier to be bringing Doom Eternal to Stadia, and are thrilled to announce that the game will be capable of running at true 4K resolution with HDR color at an unrelenting 60 frames per second.
The fundamental benefit of our cloud-native infrastructure is that developers will be able to take advantage of hardware and power in ways never before possible. and that includes taking advantage of the power of multiple GPUs at once. What you see here on the left of the line is running on a single 10.7 teraflop GPU. And on the right of the line, you can see the same content running on Stadia using multiple GPUs. In this demo, we're highlighting real-time fluid deformation. Accurate water simulation is one of the most compute-intensive effects for games. In traditional platforms, the client and server are connected by the unpredictable internet, and therefore the multiplayer experience is limited by the client with the slowest or poorest quality connection. But with Stadia, that game client and server both remain on Google's networking backbone, resulting in predictable low latency, reliable connectivity, and data security, since no traffic gets exposed to the public internet. What that means is a synchronized state across a very high volume of players, where innovations like distributed physics can be built into your games, where battle royale games could go from hundreds of players today to thousands of players tomorrow. And as a new generation game platform, Stadia will, of course, embrace full cross-platform play. Developers will have the ability to enable cross-platform multiplayer for all players, and even bring game saves and progression across as well.
Stadia not only provides high-performing multiplayer experiences from player to player, but also allows developers to create new, gorgeous gaming environments. It is a raw demonstration of scale and power using the best of Stadia technology, where every piece of the environment in this multiplayer world is destructible using real-time rigid body physics. Using Google's unique infrastructure, developers can create games built to house hundreds of players with low latency and perfect synchronization. Stream Connect is just one of the ways Google is working to support developers in creating more immersive and creative experiences, whether bringing back effortless couch-based co-op or inventing entirely new multiplayer games. We're making it possible to realize split-screen multiplayer without any performance penalty. Here we have 2 players, one hunter on the ground and a supporting aerial player, set up in a standard split-screen view. Each of these screens is powered by a separate Stadia instance. But what would happen to squad-based games if developers could allow players to call up the views of their teammates on demand? We've shown you 3 views, but we can keep going. We can keep adding streams and shape how they're shown to the player, giving a designer not one, but many cameras into a scene. What if you could interact with them? Here we have our streams configured into a command center, where a 4th player can coordinate the movements of our drone, scientist, and hunter characters. With Style Transfer, our goal is to help developers find the magic of their games quicker. Style Transfer is a machine learning technology that runs on the video frame created by the game. All of this happens in real time on a Stadia instance. We start with a gray box world and take any image we want, in this case, Kandinsky's yellow, red, blue, and the model does the rest. Throw it Starry Night, and you have another style. Give it scratch art, and you get this. The R&D team iterated through hundreds of art styles testing this technology, and one of our favorites came from an old friend.
With a new technology called State Share, developers can let a player instantly share a playable moment from a game. This can include the world state, the player's position, items they're carrying, anything the developer wants to pack into a shareable moment. Challenges to beat my incredible speed runs, or chances for other players to also experience those same tough boss battles. I can build as many shareable moments as I want and let the internet turn my whole game into an infinitely replayable treasure hunt. The game's state can be encoded into a link that tells Stadia where to pick up the game. This could be sent to one player, or it could be shared with thousands at the same time on YouTube, through email, apps, messaging, or wherever links can go.
Often when you're watching a stream, you find yourself wishing you could be in there playing alongside with your favorite creators. On traditional platforms, you'd have to fire up your console or your PC and just hope that you get matched up with them. However, with Stadia and a new feature called Crowdplay, you'll be able to simply click a button displayed right in the stream and jump in and play with YouTube creators that you're watching. The person watching can simply click the link and be placed into the lobby for the next game. And of course, YouTube creators will have full management capabilities over this feature.
There is another Stadia integration with YouTube that we're really excited about. When a player is stuck on a level or puzzle and desperately wants that next beat in the story or the breathtaking views in the next level, what do? Today, they have to leave the game, fire up YouTube, find the right video, scrub to the right part of that video, and watch how it's done. When the player gets stuck on a level, like me, instead of grabbing a laptop or a phone, they just need to push the button on the Stadia controller to get help from the Google Assistant. With Stadia, any link can be an access point to the game. Whether it's from our Stadia store, text messages, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Google search results, YouTube videos, Gmail, or from the Google Play Store, gamers are going to be able to find, discover, and enjoy your games anywhere they are, and easily share them with their friends. Stadia will be home to a variety of games, and we're happy to say that we will offer comprehensive parental controls for all content. In addition to partnering with developers big and small, I'm also thrilled to announce that today we are forming Stadia Games and Entertainment, which will build experiences designed exclusively for Stadia as Google's own first-party game studio.
I'm excited to announce that as the head of Stadia Games and Entertainment, I will not only be bringing first-party game studios to reimagine the new generation of games. Our team will also be working with external developers to make all of the bleeding-edge Google technology you have seen here today available to partner studios big and small.
With Stadia, our goal is to combine the world of people who play games and the world of people who watch games into one global community powered by the best of Google. For developers who want to create content for Stadia, we welcome you to go to stadia.dev, where you can apply to get access to development tools. If you want to partner with our team at Google to help bring your game to market, we have Stadia Partners, a program designed to give you the resources your team needs to make something great. And for players who want to be the first to learn more, you can go to stadia.com and follow us on these social channels. I'm thrilled to announce that Stadia is launching this year, 2019. We will launch first in the US, Canada, the UK, and most of Europe. Thank you very much for gathering around with all of us today. With Stadia, we can all dream bigger and together build a playground for every imagination.
Welcome to Stream Economy, where every week, or sometimes every other week, we take a deep dive into one topic across movies, TV shows, and games. This week, GDC kicked off and Google announced Stadia, a new game streaming service that looks like it's aimed at sharing gameplay and playing video games instantly via the cloud. But what's the end game here, and what's the true potential of Stadia? Well, let's break down the pros and cons. On the plus side, Stadia gives us a little glimpse at a console-free future, a world where you don't have to spend $400 plus every time Sony, Nintendo, or Xbox makes a brand new game console. You also wouldn't need to upgrade your PC if that's where you love gaming the most, because Stadia is run off of Google's ultra-high-powered servers. You're pretty much off the hook when it comes to dropping hundreds of dollars every couple of years for the newest graphics card. You might not also have to pay full price for games. Something like Stadia could in fact change the entire structure of game pricing as we know it, including try it before you buy it. Ubisoft's CEO speculated there would be multiple ways to pay. There might be an hourly rental or a subscription service like Xbox Game Pass. Or you might just pay full price for the game and have access to it in an unlimited capacity forever. There's also that whole instant gratification factor that seems really, really satisfying. No installation, no patching, just immediate access to a game you want to play. Those things all sound amazing, but just like anything, there are challenges here. One, you don't really own your games. And I know that we've had this discussion before with digital downloads on platforms like Xbox and PlayStation, But what happens if Stadia isn't successful and Google decides to spin down the service? Where does your library go then? I mean, come on, Google. It's not like we haven't seen you shutter products like Google Plus, Google Wave, Google Glass, etc. You see what I'm saying? And secondly, the argument I've seen online from some people insisting that Stadia could democratize access for AAA games is a little bit nutty, because anyone with a fast enough internet connection likely also already has a higher-end gaming PC or owns at least one console. And anyone without that speedy connection simply won't be able to take advantage of Stadia. We just don't have the infrastructure in certain places to make Stadia available on a wide enough scale. At least that's what I think. So what is the end game here? I actually think that Google is not intending to make Stadia a replacement for PC or consoles. So hear me out on this. The name Stadia is short for stadium, meaning this is a service designed for a lot of people to watch one person do a thing, gaming. That fits perfectly with YouTube's goal to be the destination for streamers. They have competition from Twitch, yes, but many gamers still upload to YouTube and find success there. It's an incredibly popular platform. It's obvious, to me at least, that Stadia is not meant for gamers as a whole. It's actually meant specifically to target streamers and the gamers who watch them. And YouTube is about to run into a lot more competition in the sharing space, specifically with gameplay and clips, because all of the other platforms are starting to build up ways to share content. Now, gamers and streamers may not choose YouTube as the place to share, which might make YouTube a little bit nervous. Stadia tries to cut that off by building vertical integration right into that controller, pushing anyone using it to YouTube as the only publishing option. And the other avenue I think that Stadia is going to get a lot of traction on is virtual reality. We're just about to watch Oculus Quest go to market, and there's been a lot of chatter about the chip inside being underpowered. Stadia as a service on a VR headset like Oculus Quest could completely eliminate that problem and also encourage more casual gamers to pick up a VR headset, which I think is the perfect solution to a tough problem in breaking through the early adopters and obtaining a much larger user base in virtual reality. I think ultimately Google's endgame here is to become sort of a third-party platform where other companies can partner and ultimately support YouTube. I can easily see companies like Sony and Microsoft adding Stadia support to products like PSVR or HoloLens even. And of course, they're not going to want to burn a whole bunch of cash to build these massive server farms that are required for things like game streaming. So Stadia might be a really good fit for them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, Stadia is really experimental, and I'm excited to see where it goes, but who can say? Hey, Sarles, you into this Stadia thing?
Oh, look, I'm pissed off this time, man. I'm a bit pissed off. You know how Google Stadia? It's going to ruin me, man. What happens when you turn it on? I know what's going to happen when I turn on the Google Stadia thing. I'm going to pick up my controller, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to have my popcorn here, my juice here, and I'm going to be like, what game? Scroll down, what game? Different game, no, I can't play that game, don't have time for that game. It's hard enough when it's a telly show, and a telly show lasts for an hour. I'm going to be paralysed. All the games in the world, I can pick anyone I want to play. Do you know what I did the other night there? I do it all the time. I turned on Netflix. I wanted to watch something cool, what we're going to watch. I spent 3 hours scrolling down the screen trying to pick something to watch. Is this my future? This is it. I'm going to sit on the couch and do nothing, just scroll through menus all my life. Maybe one day I'll play a game, if I'm lucky, because I'll be spending all the time choosing.
Thanks so much for watching. If you want more information about Stadia, you can check out Alphabet City right down here. If you want to watch more Stream Economy, that's right up here. And of course, we will be around on Saturday mornings with you and your breakfast cereal to talk about all things movies, TV shows, and games. Be good streamers.
Google is getting into gaming, and actually I'm kind of surprised they didn't just call this thing Google Gaming or Google Games, GG. I was telling Kirk before, like, missed opportunity. They're calling it Stadia. I gotta say, it's kind of interesting, this idea, this concept.
it kind of makes sense to me. The execution, of course, it's up in the air. We're all skeptical here whether or not it's going to deliver what Google is claiming, this idea, this crazy idea of 4K top shelf games at 60 FPS streamed over the internet with no need for gaming hardware in your presence. It's kind of an amazing claim. I mean, it makes sense. Everything else you do online is streamed. You can stream 4K video. There's obviously more complexity when it comes to gaming and input and so on, but streaming in general has become the standard in so many entertainment segments, whether you're talking about YouTube, Netflix, music services. Like, who's downloading stuff? You of course never want to download stuff if you don't have to. During the live stream, there was a moment where a person's watching a clip of Assassin's Creed being broadcast by another YouTuber, and then they quickly hit the play button, and they're instantly playing the game. They're playing Assassin's Creed, no download. The idea of that, if it works as advertised and as showcased, is obviously better than stopping what you're doing, going into a transaction, paying for something, downloading it, and then playing an hour later or who knows how far down the road. And then, in many cases, having to deal with the various stores that different game developers utilize to distribute their games, whether it's EA with their own stuff or purchasing games on Steam and so on. There's some friction introduced through those various services. So when we sat here as a group talking about whether Google can or can't deliver this thing, how excited we should actually be, I thought about Google through the lens of what they've been able to do with YouTube. Because I remember, once upon a time, the idea of streaming 4K video, even via YouTube, seemed insane. It seemed impossible. Google has a tremendous number of resources. They could be the first company to crack this thing. As usual, there's people that are skeptical, and they should be. There are plenty of Google products that come and go. So people have a right to be skeptical, but gaming is this area that's, it's just massive, and Google really has no play. They're not involved in the space outside of YouTube where people watch gaming. So they have the watching piece. It makes sense to add the playing piece. And some of the integration they showed with YouTube, even though who knows if it will be as smooth as they were showcasing it, it just makes a lot of sense. People who play games, watch games, who could have predicted people would be watching as much gaming as they are? People could integrate with the gamers that they're watching and the games that they're watching. They could join in. There's so many cool potential scenarios that could take place by combining these different worlds. Now, the other thing that struck me about this idea coming from Google is that Google, through Android, through Chrome, and their various other products, has reached into places where game consoles and gaming PCs haven't really taken hold, where they're not really popular or ubiquitous. Places like India, China, emerging markets with huge audiences who may not be able to enjoy AAA games at the moment, or maybe their only computing device is the smartphone in their pocket. With this service here, you could potentially take your game as a developer and broadcast it, send it out, and make it available to individuals who couldn't possibly be your customers in the past because they didn't own the hardware, they didn't have the big display to play your titles. So during the presentation, they showcased this streaming game service working on smartphones, low-powered laptops, computers, and even on TVs as well. That was kind of interesting. Through Chromecast, they were able to stream, I believe it was a 4K feed, once again, of Assassin's Creed. And apparently the new Doom, they're going to deliver it at 4K 60 FPS by offloading the processing to the cloud, to Google servers. It's all happening out there. Then you just have a screen and no input lag. And this controller that they launched, which again, I have to try it out, it looks pretty cool, but then they went a step further and said, oh, you can also use any controller you already have. Or of course, if you're on a laptop, you can use your typical keyboard input as well. It has you questioning the viability of all kinds of gaming companies, gaming hardware, gaming software. What happens to Steam? What kind of a connection do you need? There's a lot of questions that come out of a presentation like this. They didn't say a price, and the launch date is kind of vague. They just said 2019. It's got to be delivered first. It can't be laggy. People will not put up with it. It's got to be smooth. It's got to be fast, especially if people are going to use it in a competitive fashion. We need to know how fast the connections have to be, and what about the economics? Are we just buying games at full price like we're already doing in places like Steam? Or is it some type of subscription service similar to Netflix? Is it more questions than answers? Maybe. But at least we know it's a real thing. It's happening. There appear to be developers on board, and this really could change the landscape of gaming in a big way if Google does what they say they're going to do. That's the big question. Can they do that? Time will tell.
So, I was at GDC, I saw the announcement, I went to their booth and tried it, and this is a much bigger deal than I expected. Is this the next big thing in gaming for sure? You read the title, you kinda know where this is going. I am very excited about the potential this holds, but I also have concerns and worries. For those still unfamiliar with what the heck is going on, Google announced Stadia, a cloud gaming platform that promises to run games on almost any PC, smart TV, or phone by running the game on a server and streaming the video footage to your screen over the internet. The promise is smooth and instant gaming on any internet-connected device. That part does not impress me very much, and if you have been following this channel for a while, it probably does not impress you as well. There's a variety of existing niche services that already do this, and I have explored a lot of them in previous videos. Some of them work really well. Nvidia even has one. It's still on beta testing for PC, but if you have a beta key, it works. And yet, Google does a number of things differently to all of those attempts. So after talking to some of the people in the Google booth and trying this for myself and talking to a lot of developers, there are some things about this service that sound and feel very good, but some of it does not. Let us discuss some of the most notorious elements in a convenient YouTube-friendly format. Let's start with what I like. Lots of progress on reducing parts of the latency. The big Achilles heel of this concept is always latency. Since the game footage has to get to you and the controller inputs has to get from you to the server, it is inevitable that there's always going to be an extra latency from input to action on cloud gaming. This latency is always going to depend on mainly three elements: encoding overhead, or the amount of time it takes to encode and decode the video feed or the controller inputs, physical distance from the server running the game, and the quality of the internet infrastructure in general, especially the part that is closer to the final user. Google has been putting a lot of resources for improving the encoding and transmission techniques. They already have a ton of experience in video transmission from things like YouTube. There's a ton of technology they're developing for not just improving the base latency, but in general improving the feel of the quality of the service in a variety of different connections. One of the first game developers they're working with is id Games, and as explained on a talk by id developer Dustin Land at GDC, they wanted to use the extreme speed and motion of Doom as a test to make sure that the experience will work even on the most intense games. Heck, the one piece of hardware they announced is a controller, one that connects directly to Wi-Fi rather than a PC or a TV, in order to remove one step in the process of getting those inputs to the server, which is part of that larger effort to reduce latency. Google already has an enormous number of server farms worldwide, which makes them one of the few companies that can really provide servers that are close enough to a lot of people to be able to do this effectively. And the third point, well, the worrisome, the last line of the connection, still kinda sucks. Google uses very ambitious language for Stadia and the number of people they want to reach. But even in developed countries, like the ones in the launch list, the internet conditions might not be enough for this to become mainstream. Consider the following. I tried a good chunk of the GDC Stadia demo running on a Chromebook. Some of the sessions by Google commented that these demos were running on a server about 50 miles away. But this is a convention demo, and it is fair to say that Google put some care that the connection was good, so this is as ideal as test circumstances get. And the latency hit was similar to what I get using Shadow at home, and any artifacting as a result of the video compression was very similar as well. This is a good thing, it's pretty manageable. But later that day, I saw the first live demo of Doom Eternal running on Stadia. And again, this was under ideal conditions, and yet there were a fair number of frame skips. How will this do with someone who does not have fiber internet? Heck, what about data consumption? I talked to a lot of people in GDC, and the dominant topic was data caps. Even in Google's own home turf of the US, a lot of people have connections with data limits that might not make them possible to use something like this currently. Which means that Google might have to do a lot of political work just for this to pick up its critical user base on its home country. And on the sessions on GDC, Google made it clear that they're working on technological solutions that will make this work very well in a variety of connections, but I'm not sure if this is something they can do much without a strong improvement in overall global internet infrastructure. I might be wrong. This is a chicken and egg problem in the sense that this might create a demand for better internet, but not enough people might use this because of the lack of better internet. In fact, they have not yet disclosed any minimum connection requirements for this thing, but given the requirements of existing services, well, it might be hard. But that leads to the bad, the first line of release countries. Oh yes, if you know me, you knew I was going to bring this up. One of the big points in the marketing message of this service is how it can open the world of gaming to tons of new users. Some of the faster growing gaming markets, where consoles are not a good option, are countries where Google might have the data centers to pull this off, but are not included in the initial release. Where is India? Where is South America? It might get there if the service is successful. This might be just a test run, but can the service be successful in the first place when all the countries already have a lot of good, cheap local gaming options? I'm not sure. They're worrisome. This is an entirely new platform to develop for. I'm going to be honest, when there were rumors about this thing, I expected Stadia to be games running on PC and being streamed back, like Parsec or Shadow. It is not. It is based on Linux, the Ubuntu kernel in fact according to the GDC talks, with an undisclosed custom CPU and a custom AMD GPU, but it does not immediately run any existing game. The developer must port their games to Stadia, which again, Dustin Land from Eat Games described as something between the dev process of a PC and a console at the GDC session that I attended. Side note, since the OS of Stadia is Linux, Dustin Land did comment that the first step of porting a game there was to make a Linux version, and for testing they had 2016's Doom running on Ubuntu, but fully acknowledged that Linux desktop adoption is not nearly big enough for this to be something other than a Stadia demo. I have expressed before the ideological reasons why I would like gaming on Linux to pick up speed, and it is killing me that there's a Doom and Doom Eternal Linux executable somewhere in an Eat Games server that we will never play with. Okay, side note over. Back to the issue at hand. Stadia is like an entirely new console, starting from zero rather than a PC. From the developer perspective, that means yet another platform to port and test games, which requires money and time investment and might mean that a lot of games might not be available ever. From a consumer perspective, it means that it might be difficult to justify buying the thing when there are few games on it. Another worrisome thing, YouTube integration. The idea on paper is really good. Games will have the ability to integrate chat actions while a creator streams, so all your incessant spamming will finally actually do something. Please stop spamming my chat. Will developers go through the pain of implementing this on existing games when it is a feature unique to the service? No idea. It might take a while. And there's also stuff like viewers having the option to immediately start playing a game if they see it on a video. Hey, you know what kinda sucks right now? YouTube monetization. Do you know what will be interesting? What if donations from viewers allow people to affect the game? Or that if someone starts playing a game after seeing your video, the creator gets a tiny bit of the money out of the interaction. Evidently, I'm all up for ideas on better ways to monetizing content that is not purely advertising, but I am kinda annoyed that they have not provided more details on how this is going to work to any YouTuber. Well, except MadPat, apparently. But given how often YouTube introduces a new feature which has unexpected effects, I can't help but be a bit skeptical of how this is going to be implemented. The bad. Where's the pricing? Not only do we not know how much this is going to cost, but there's no mention of the overall pricing model. Is this going to be a subscription service? Do you have to buy the games? Both? How is revenue going to be shared with the developers? Running a cloud gaming service is expensive. This is why existing services like Shadow or Parsec experiment with their pricing, and if the whole selling point is making games accessible to more people, a high price point will make it difficult. So there's a chance they bankroll the whole thing and provide the service at a loss with the hopes of creating value long term or through harvesting data, which is kinda what they did with YouTube or might still be doing, no one knows, which leads perfectly to my next point. The worrisome. This is Google that we're talking about. I understand this is a bit rich coming from a creator and a Google-owned platform, but big tech companies in general has been under a lot of scrutiny over the way privacy and data harvesting is managed. So the thought of giving another part of your life to Google completely can be a red flag for some, even if it means a cheaper alternative. We will have to wait. With so little precious information and actual implementation of the system, one has to wonder the following. The bad. Who is this for? Who is the target consumer for the service? With all the Twitter backlash at the announcement of the service, there's one thing that I think we are easily forgetting. Stadia is not to be a replacement for PC gaming, and it is likely not a product for like power users of PC gaming, just like consoles. A lot of the features that these power users like from PC are not accessible from Stadia, as people like to point out, but literally the same case can be made for game consoles. Now, for PC gamers that only care about playing the game with no customization and console gamers more interested in a plug-and-play convenience experience, Stadia starts making a bit more sense. But a sector of those gamers are going to be too concerned about latency or game ownership for cloud gaming in general to make sense. So, look at it this way. Here we have the power users that care so much about customization, latency or game ownership that they will never consider cloud gaming. Here we have the people who are either in markets or circumstances where consoles and components are so expensive who could actually benefit from cloud gaming, but either have bad internet, data caps, or live outside the very specific support area. Here in the middle we have the potential user, who really just wants to play the game and does not care enough to buy a dedicated console or build a PC. Which is fine, this is not a condemnation, just enjoy your games your way. But they have internet that is good enough and they are in a supported country. Who exactly is this market? It's very hard to tell and will be determined ultimately by how this thing is priced, which again, we don't know. So look, I have tried my fair share of cloud gaming on this channel and I dig it. I personally use Shadow when I play on my TV out of pure convenience, even though I am not sure I'm the target consumer for it. And part of me is excited to see a big company give an early check at this concept. I am worried about the details that we're missing for it, such as the whole pricing model and the very slim country release list, or the YouTube integration, but I think it could be transformative for a lot of people who want to do more gaming but just do not want a console or want to build a PC. Now the real question is that a specific crowd big enough to sustain a service this big? Or are the limits in internet infrastructure on developing countries and the US bad enough that it is still too early for something like this to become mainstream and just will remain a niche service? We will find out. I am 99% sure that at best it will be another option in the growing ecosystem of how to play games. I will be the first one in line to try this out when it comes out in Spain, that is for sure, even though the lack of pricing makes me wonder if this is going to be too expensive for me. You know which streaming service is not too expensive though? CuriosityStream. No, seriously, it's like $3 a month for some of the coolest content out there. CuriosityStream is this video sponsor and a superb streaming service for documentaries and over 2,400 pieces of content for all sorts of topics. For example, I keep complaining that the biggest barrier for Google Stadia is internet infrastructure, and yet it might just be a matter of time. This documentary on the birth of the internet shows how we use technology that was meant to create communications over nuclear attacks and combine it with a network of connected universities to basically create something that is robust enough to download games or stream documentaries, which by the way you can do on your PC, phone, TV or any device. Also, if you want to support LowSpecGamer, you can use curiositystream.com/LowSpecGamer or the code LowSpecGamer to get the first 30 days free. Thank you to them for sponsoring this video and you for watching.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Ring Neighbors. You can download the app today at ring.com/inside.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Gaming for Thursday!
That's right, it's Thursday. Google dropped a lot more info on us today about its upcoming cloud gaming service, Stadia.
Yep, it's really cool technology and all, but it has us wondering, who exactly is this for? The early adopter that also has no money?
Not really a thing.
No, not really. The person that can't afford a console but somehow has top-of-the-line internet with no data caps?
I'm confused.
I guess maybe the on-the-go gamer that doesn't want to carry around a Switch but doesn't mind a bulky controller.
This is really hard to say. Maybe it's you, Lawrence?
No.
Always. Oh, okay, all right.
No.
I just wanted to say.
I'm already kitted out, man. I got 3 of every console, 4K
Yeah, we know
displays
you're
on every
rich.
wall.
We know you're rich.
I thought I saw your face at the presentation. They said, and this is for you, Lawrence.
Lawrence, give him the info.
So what we saw, we got some games it's going to be on the service, so that's nice. Pricing plans and a release month.
Okay.
No launch date really in the presentation, but the site says streaming service is coming in November, so buckle up. Google also rolled out its big bundle called the Founders Edition. Who doesn't want to have their name on the brick at the base of the Google Stadia empire?
I made it.
Yeah.
I did this.
We did it. Yeah, $130 for all that money. You get a Chromecast Ultra to stream to your TV, which already got one.
Rich,
Once again,
Rich.
yes.
Stadia controller, don't have one of those yet. And 3 months of the service, plus another 3 months you can gift to your buddy. And you get a complete edition of Destiny 2, including the Season Pass and the new Shadowkeep expansion coming out this fall.
But Destiny 2 is now free to play, correct?
It will be going free to play later this year after that expansion comes out, I believe.
Got it.
So I guess the question for this is, it is a subscription service, right? That's what we found out today?
Seems like it, sort of.
I mean, in as much as like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live or a subscription service, kinda yeah. They announced Stadia Pro, which will cost $9.99 a month to play a library of games in 4K HDR and 60 FPS.
Yeah, there's also a free base subscription that lets you buy and keep any game in the store, and you'll be able to play them at 1080p at 60 frames a second.
Okay, so Stadia Pro is kind of like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold. You get discounted games and a few free ones each month. Once again, I hate calling them free. They're not free because you're paying for them.
Yeah, that's true. You are paying for them.
Yeah, you know, I love watching Black Mirror because it's free. I only have to pay for an internet connection and I pay Netflix, but it's free.
No, you're paying for the 4K. The games are free.
Kill me.
Also,
All right.
you'll have the free ones on your account as long as you're a subscriber.
Right, yeah. So yeah, it's like you pay $10 a month and get a massive library of games like with Netflix, like we were saying. It's also a storefront where you need to buy games.
Yeah, and Google showed off a bunch of games to tease us with, including Baldur's Gate 3.
The whole conference was for Lawrence.
Yeah, Rich.
Baldur's Gate 2 came out a million years ago.
Look, I have no idea. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, as well as a co-op game called Get Packed, and some other current-ish games like Division 2 and Destiny 2.
Gizmodo says that there will be 31 games for sale at launch. Lawrence, are you excited about anything on this giant list that's scrolling by us right now, like the end credits of a movie?
I mean, they're all games that I already plan to play on other platforms that I trust a lot more than Google Stadia. So
But you can play them in 4K.
Elder Scrolls
already do that.
Elder Scrolls Online.
60 frames per second.
Grid.
I've had a PC for 20 years. This is not new.
Farming Simulator 19.
Yeah, there's a mix of popular current games and stuff that's set to release next year. It's just, you know, they got a good roster of all the heavy hitters, but again, if you're watching this video, you probably have a console that'll play all that stuff already. So the big question is, how fast of an internet connection will you need?
According to Google, if you have a connection of 35 megabits a second, that's enough to stream games in 4K HDR at 60 FPS and 5.1 surround sound.
Is that true? Really?
No,
That's what they say.
100% valid. That's how YouTube works. That's about the bit rate for a 4K stream, yeah.
Even if your connection is just 10 megabits per second, that's enough to stream at 720p at 60 frames. So, dirt people.
I was gonna say, I think most people in America,
Can we say that?
I want to say, most people in America probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 megabits, maybe a little less than that.
Yeah, 50 to 100, I'd
Probably
say.
50 to 100.
I guess also you need that translation graph because the way the telecoms do
Bits to bytes, baby.
it's really confusing also.
Network traffic is in megabits.
Well, we're
There's 8
talk-
bits to a byte.
We're talking in megabits,
Yeah.
and so is Google. Google says you'll be able to stream to any device that's running a Chrome browser or your TV with a Chromecast Ultra dongle.
It's already sucking the life out of my PC, so
Call
why
me
not?
Ultra extra dongle.
They also said you'll be able to play on the Pixel 3 phone.
That's me, because I'm rich.
What about the Pixel 3a? The poor person Pixel.
No.
Oh.
I'm poor.
Also, what is it about a 3 specifically?
They control the ecosystem, so that's why if you want the newest updates and stuff, you get a Pixel. That's why you do it.
Lawrence, there's also latency. Talk about the latency.
Yeah, that's the thing that everybody's afraid of, justifiably so if you've ever touched an OnLive in the past, which you should get a doctor to look at that if you have, I'm sorry. But yeah, that'll be hugely important, especially with multiplayer games and fighting games like Mortal Kombat 11, because a few frames makes all the difference in those games. Back in March, a Google employee told TechCrunch that it was generally 70 to 130 milliseconds, which is about 8 to 9 frames of a 60 FPS game. That's a big deal in fighting games, but people with crappy internet basically have that amount of latency already. It's tough to say if it's going to be additive or not based on Google's special internet. Also, people that have HD TVs and are not playing in game mode, they probably have more than that just in their TV itself. The core gamers, like the AV nerds like me and the people that care about 2 to 3 frames of lag, probably are going to shy away from this for that reason, but they're also probably not the intended audience.
It sounds like only single-player games is probably kind of where you want to go with this.
And only certain single-player games. I don't imagine rhythm games would be too much fun. I don't imagine games like Thumper. But then again, those are for your core ultra gamer types who may like the tech behind Stadia, but may not like the actual implementation of it. So again, we're coming back.
Let's go, y'all.
You know what time it is, bro.
Let's go, bro.
Yo, Majik, what's good, bro? What you got, yo?
96 Playsharp 6.6.
Alright. You need a 2-guard and a small forward. Preferably 2-way. Nah, I get a lot. I can shoot.
Well, I found a little fire ass show on Hulu, bitch.
What's on Hulu? What's the name of it?
Mind your business.
They added the new season of Boondocks to this. I'm gonna go ahead and watch that.
The what?
You never seen Boondocks? Just mute your mic.
No, I didn't hear you. I know I'm not watching the new Boondocks, I can tell you that.
Why not?
They can't do nothing that they did in the past. They can't talk about gay people. They can't talk about none of that political shit. No, I'm good.
Nigga, that's Boondocks. You think they not gonna be bugging the system?
Yep.
What y'all got on my friend list, man? Bro, I literally I tried to play on my slashing defender today, bro. I literally if anything, I feel like disadvantage versus this character, bro. Like, I think this character matched out versus that 6'9" slashing defender. I'm gonna blow the nigga out, bro.
I hear you. See if Fly got his shit together, man.
Sharpshooting slash. I hate them bills, bro.
We need a defender, bro. What we need?
Bro, we need a 2-guard, preferably sharp shot, shot sharp. Well, sharp primary, because we got to play shot at the one. We don't got to.
Do we need a small forward?
Yeah.
Or is this a small forward?
I'm not sure.
Got a 96 play sharp, 6'6".
What?
I got somebody else. Let me see. Nobody ever says what they is, so I'm gonna just invite them. Let's do a 95 something.
Wow.
Dope. Nah, I can play him. We appreciate it, though. I gotta change my post. Take that shit down. Yeah, damn, all PGs are hitting my posts. I got 4 interests at all PGs, dog. I definitely need to change my shit.
When does that happen?
Playsharp and then the 2 dudes that we just got in here are all PGs.
A center and a lock, I guess. Probably be.
Damn, that's crazy. I don't ever get that many PGs either.
Every time I need a PG, there ain't none to be found.
We either find a good one or you pick up some that are just complete trash. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I let my game speak for itself, but I'm always around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either you get a good point guard or they can't play at all.
Right. You got point guard.
I say the point guard damn near needs to be the best on the team because they run the whole momentum. You know what I'm saying? They're the
people play point guard and don't play make like how.
Slash and rebound 96, I think. I'm inviting them now. No sharp rebounder.
Might be too much shooting for that guy. No point really. Got a pure stretch, a pure sharp, and a play sharp. I don't think we need a sharp rebounder.
He says sharp rebound 80%.
I mean, that perimeter.
I mean, if he wants to. Yeah.
As long as everybody knows
Somebody's
space.
not gonna get a lot of shots though.
Yeah, facts. That's him right here. It's up to y'all though.
Oh man,
It should work.
I'm just saying, I know somebody.
If we know space,
Somebody's not gonna have as many shots as they want.
Yo, for life.
It's not about. It's about the win.
That's cool.
It should be about none of that.
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's all I want to do is win, but
Right. I know this.
you know, some people get a little upset.
Right.
What's good with y'all?
What's good, Fly?
What's up,
What's up, man? We need a 5, bro. You a sharp rebounder. How you feel about that?
But at the
We already got shooters. You know what I'm saying? We already got all.
Oh,
shooters.
shit! I did
We
that
just
dirty
got a lot.
work. I ain't tripping. I just put that sharp in there, so if I need to hit a corner shot or whatever,
Smart.
I ain't tripping.
That's smart.
See,
That's smart.
I got one dude said bit.
We
What the fuck does
just
that
need a lot.
mean?
So you don't know what that means?
I hate when people do that shit.
What bet?
They just said bet. I mean, I know what it means, but I'm just saying, like, what? Is that a center or a lock? You said bet. Like, what? What's that mean to me, bro? What's with these 88s?
Ooh, that's creepy. Those are new ones. They just bought that game 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
For $2. It'll be $3.
Alright, I just put the post up for the lot. guess I got one already.
I guess you got the magic today.
Two-way. He said two-way. That's it. Literally all he said.
I bet he's a two-way shot.
He's a 90 though. It said 90 two-way. Want me to invite him? You know, I'm gonna let it sit for a second.
Yes, he said let's come. He's funny as hell.
You gonna wait a minute? Wait
Little
a quick
mouse,
little
see,
minute.
You don't even know.
You can't always jump the gun, bro. You can't always jump the gun.
You just gotta wait.
Let me see what this dude is.
Because he might be the sellout. You feel me?
Right.
So we might be just doing us a favor by doing that, for real. Because it's always that. Look at the name. Spam God. Ooh. What you got, Spam God?
Look. All y'all niggas smoke. I see 420 kush. What's going on?
Oh yeah. We all get high. Pass
Nah,
that shit.
bro.
wait.
Except for me, I just drink.
That's good, bro. Smoking is not good for you.
Smoking not good for you. Cut it out.
Nah, nigga. Ain't one productive thing you did while smoking.
What?
Walking outside ain't good for you.
Hey, listen. You
Fuck.
preaching to the choir right now,
Yeah,
bro. I smoke every
exactly.
fucking day. Let me tell you something, right? I work for the.
You gotta be a young cat.
I'm not even going. You know what? Whatever. I ain't even gonna gas you, but I'm gonna just let you know I'm successful when I smoke hella weed. So just chill.
You
There's plenty of successful people that smoke weed. That's
Oh,
probably $1 billion.
I'm very productive. I'm productive as we speak, and thank you for bringing that up during my stream. Would you like to follow my stream? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm high, I'm productive, and I'm playing the game. So trying to get these views up. So yeah, very productive. What are you doing that's productive, drinker? Huh?
I'm high myself.
Oh, you high yourself. Okay. You joined the party. You from a group post. So now you here, right? Alright. The fuck? You all judgmental and shit. So that ain't no good. Who the fuck told you that? He got the nerve to but he's smoking already. Get out of here, bro.
Thanks, Mom.
Get out of here, bro. This nigga funny as hell. You better not sell, bro. We was just talking about niggas. The last nigga gonna sell, yo. You just came in here, bro. No offense. It could have been me. You feel me? It could have been me. But you the last person, so don't come in here selling, bro.
Why?
Cause we all high, but we are productive. So you high right now. You might not be productive. And you might sell us cause you high. And we understand that. Like we understand. You feel me? So that's why we already had this discussion before you came in. Feel me? So. Let's see what's gonna happen. I might sell shit. Who knows? Like, real talk. Oh my God. Fuck knows?
Hey, invite me to squad, my guy.
Should have one.
I'm not in there. Oh, what to say?
You were just in the squad. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I did some high shit and took the invite. Some high shit. I was wondering why the fuck? I'm looking at my stream why that shit say NBA 2K on there? What the fuck? This shit tripping.
Get to the door.
Yo, everybody know I play 2-3 zone now.
Yep.
Everybody know I play 2-2-1. No.
Nope.
Basically the point of the two guards gonna press up. No, listen. It's dope as hell. Basically, the point of the two guards gonna press the fuck up. If we got locks, let them press up first. The shooting guard and the power forward is gonna be behind us. As we're pressing them, y'all gonna be backing up. You get what I'm saying? Backing up. And most likely, like, they're gonna pass. It's gonna be a steal. But if they don't pass it, we're gonna
Almost
fall
like a
into the
2-3,
2-3.
huh?
Exactly. We're gonna fall into the 2-3.
Almost like a 2-3, huh?
Exactly. See, you smart. You
Oh,
smart.
okay, why don't we
You
just run a
smart.
box and one? What's going on?
Smart guy.
Well, we missing somebody.
Word. Smart ass. Just
Hold
making
on,
sure
okay.
everybody's
Gator
on the
real
same
quick.
page. You gotta explain it like that, for real. Gotta explain it like that. Trust me, I've been league owners and all that. You gotta explain shit like that to people. People do not know. They just play this shit just to play it. Don't know basketball at all.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, who we with?
Really just call out your zone.
I'm running up
bro.
now.
If everybody knows their zone, we be straight. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, I mean, you, what's that, Magic? Magic and Spain, y'all two gonna be up top.
Yeah, he started talking in tongues. He said, fuck out of here, Spain. No, that ass. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Just cause I ain't played this shit like 2 days.
Y'all niggas some amateur threes?
No, that's some. No, this next game, they better give me my shit back. This some bullshit.
Nah, 2K no.
Nah, I got. What you mean? I'm fine with it. Yeah, y'all bullshit. Bullshit.
Ew, nah.
No, we don't play for a long time. When you don't play,
DJ, this fucking game
derank your
hates me, dog. You know what's crazy, bro? They gave us a L yesterday for fucking the people quit on us and they gave us a L. I swear to God,
Damn.
everybody quit and they gave us.
Somebody
a L,
did
bro.
that timeout shit to
swear on
me
everything.
yesterday. I was mad as hell.
And they took my fucking pro. I swear to God, bro.
It's real tough.
Y'all heard that
Yeah, it is,
timeout
bro.
shit? Like that nigga
This
did
fucking
that
game
shit. The
is
last
weak.
few seconds lagged everybody the fuck out. Bitch ass.
Nah, we was whooping ass and niggas quit, bro, and it just gave us the L
these
and they
niggas-
all quit.
Why they got you out the
Crazy.
These niggas
point?
roll.
What the fuck I told you?
Your point guard.
Oh shit.
No, yeah, you good. RBB's the point guard. We straight.
RBB.
Just let it be known. We in zone anyway, or 2-3.
MEB.
They ass. Look at this shit.
Or we could play man. It don't matter, man.
Let's
Fuck.
play man.
Hey, man, cool.
He's 6'1", like, come on, bro. I mean, the point guard
Play
should be
shot
on
at the
too.
PG.
The point guard, look at him. We like dinosaurs. Oh, we can knock that shit down. Put some defense.
So we running man, 2-3, 1-3-1, 3-2. What we doing?
We on the man.
Alright, chief.
We running zone. Oh no.
What the fuck was that?
Okay.
That was a RBLB, bro, and that's what I get. It helped.
Good D. Oh, jump again.
Block, bitch. Try again.
Phew. Hey. Hey, should I be on the point guard or no?
It's a lock out here? Got a lock?
Yeah.
Oh, alright, so what number you going? What number you going? Tell me what number, we can switch.
The point guard's not even the run of the ball.
You said what? Yeah, it's the 2 guard round.
Like the original one spot.
Damn, he wild. Oh, he ran right into the defense.
I ain't think you about fast as me.
So you brought up? Why not? Oh, hell no.
What is it?
Okay.
RBA and RBY are your shooters. This motherfucker gonna drive me every time.
Oh yeah, so sit back a little, you know. Sit back and just push his eyes. His eyes. Hands up, shit ain't gonna work this man. Oh.
Rebound. This shit.
Oh,
Shit.
Let's go. Let's take advantage of this.
Good time to rock my boy. Pomfrey is he's gonna jump too. Yeah.
Mother cut.
I did. That's all.
That's you, my guy.
Soft rebound.
Damn, I ain't expect to get that shit. I ain't hit that whole X all the way. Get that shit. Oh.
Damn, that's supposed to be a steal.
Yeah.
Damn. Got the charge.
Okay. That's my first charge ever. That's crazy.
We finna lose.
No, we not. Cut it
Fuck
out.
no.
Shit.
Cut it out, bro.
We need to build our
I got over 500 wins. He told me we finna lose. Relax.
We need to build our chemistry real quick, figure out what we want to do, where we effective at. We obviously got good shooters, but we need to figure out where everybody good at.
I got that. Give me that shit. Nigga. The ball back.
D. What's up? Just stay spread out, man. Let the point guard work. Me and DJ will cross at the hashes or something. We'll work the hashes, bro. Simple shit.
Oh, shit. Hey, you a lead. Tell me when you... Majik, tell me when you want to...
Look, every time it's not going to leak, you don't have somebody open. Good pass. Just got knocked down.
Still.
Good work,
Majik. Like, come on, bro. Stop calling me that.
That bitch said Majik.
My name not Majik though. That's my name. Majik. Magic. Like Magic. Like Magic Gaming. Like you heard what I said, nigga. I said Orlando Magic, nigga. Yeah, that one. I know Majik.
D.
What?
So.
You sound like you sound A-rap as hell when you say that shit. Majik.
It's
I
straight
don't even know
Majik.
Majik. Magic, bro. Cut it out. I want to splash that bitch. Oh, here we go. Still, come on, throw it. Still throw it. Oh, okay. I got that's off.
That's in there.
You bugging. You counted that? Who said that's in there? You's a hater. You's a hater for that. So what I said there, you crazy. I'll play defense.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, he little as hell, bro. He's 6'1". He not making shit. Give a fuck. How far I am. I'm jumping at his little ass. Look,
Oh,
3
damn it.
seconds. Oh.
Shit. Oh, he's passing it. It's on me.
It's on it. We're gonna get right. It's only first quarter. These niggas trash.
We only got 2 of us
And
for
don't
points.
reach.
We gotta get right.
Like, don't reach. Don't reach, though. Like, these niggas garbage.
Got you. Ooh, why you
Come on.
so damn, that's terrible.
That's just a Majik.
Good take. Nope.
Come on. They all crash now.
Come on. I got 2 eyes. So watch his right side with me. He tried to go up for a whoop for me. Alright. Fuck, he thought he was.
And he got it.
Yeah, they counted.
Come on. Let's go. Come on, yeah. Come on. Play some defense.
Shot.
Oh, that's off. Come on.
Man, nothing. Damn. That's crazy.
Shot, boy.
So we switching?
No, I was just
You
trying
wanna
to
go
get
2-3?
Trying to get the little Chiefs too.
You need screens, coach?
Man, my bar just lagged, bruh. Sheesh. We could go 2-3. I don't really think it's that much of an issue. Just again, dumb shit to go in.
Right.
They're attacking the paint hella hard for sure.
What is ball? This is going
Shit.
down there.
Oh, bro.
Bro, I was about to give it to you. Reach your ass.
I thought the point. Oh, point guard is RB.
I think he's trying to take it. See?
Fuck, man, we just can't get a board. Like, they're missing hellas.
Hey, yo, trying to go 2-3.
Cap that nigga.
Keep
Yeah,
airball,
man.
he's catching them hoes.
Cap that nigga. Fucking, you got 6 seconds.
Alright, well, next possession, 2-3. I got bottom left. Call out your fucking zone. We gotta get right.
Bottom right,
We're not
then.
about to go down like this.
Alright, that's all. That's all. That's all. That's all.
Niggas trash, bro. They missing everything, yo. Like, come on, man. We just gotta commit on offense. We gotta hit something. Gotta hit something. Go to the other half. Good pass. Good shot.
I'm
2-3. I got bottom left.
I got bottom right. At the middle center. With the outside person.
My zone.
About to eliminate all that running around. Watch
Right
this.
up, right up.
You get that zone, get that zone. You get my zone.
He's got his badge with
Hey,
the D.
man.
I don't
It's
know
good
about
fucking
that.
D, man.
Fuck.
Oh my god, bro. They really not
Left corner,
letting us
left
get
corner.
anything.
Oh, come on, man. That shit getting annoying. Like, you
Shot,
keep
boy.
playing up,
Got
like,
one more shot. I got team.
you keep playing fucking up like that.
Zone.
Yeah, push
I got
his
left.
punk ass.
Got 2.
I see him. He come back to the top. I know. Yeah, give it to him. So still that shit.
Oh, don't jump, don't jump.
I got
Hey,
him.
watch,
I got
watch,
him.
watch,
I got
watch,
him.
watch. Watch his backside. You playing too high.
I got you.
Get open, D. Get open.
I got you.
Don't force it.
Wrap it.
Fuck.
Forward.
That was so tough.
Shit.
Too far.
Hey, foul it. Block.
Damn.
Alright, so they're
I ain't
all
really getting
painted,
it wrong,
bro. We
too.
could definitely beat them by the 3. We just gotta figure it out and how to get us open, bro. That's it.
So tough.
Left corner.
He just reaching. Like, he just reaching, bro. That's all he doing, bro. Every time I do a little move, he reach, bro.
Test it. Fucking bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's so tough. That's right back.
Good shot.
Shot, boy.
I'm gonna get a good pass, goddamn. Nah.
That was good pass, Pete.
Good D.
Mhm. Hey.
2-3.
Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. Alright, watch. I got him, I got him, I got him.
I got
back
him.
up top,
No,
back
stay
up top,
top.
back
I
up
was gonna
top.
say,
Yeah.
if he go to the left,
That's the weakness of it, is the back door or the mid range. So if they're not mid range, they're gonna shoot back door. Like, stop playing with me, dude. Look, yo, fucking bitch.
They found the shit out you.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's why I'm not dribbling no more. Like, All y'all doing is tapping X. Like, I ain't about to play with y'all.
Oh man. You playing two up?
Smoking. Ah.
Oh, don't jump, bro. You're glad. Enough to put it up.
Good shot.
He's contesting everything, bro. That's
I
crazy.
know, I see. That shit crazy. Hell no.
What?
What's that corner? I got you. Come on. Watch this middle. Watch the middle. Watch the middle. That's good. That's good. That's all.
It's gotta be off.
Let's go.
Rebound. Let's go. We out.
Come on. I got this. Come on. Stop playing. Here.
Hey,
Here.
Hash. Alright, cool.
Ugh. You count it?
No.
I don't think it counted.
Yeah, it did. I think so.
Oh, it did? Nah, it didn't. We had 26. You hit that 3.
Oh.
29. I ain't get it.
I ain't see that time. I should have shot the 3.
Layup.
Oh, full.
Not good.
Like, fuck it. We getting it together, though. Second half, we gonna crack this.
They just
thing,
getting
bro.
the nonsense. The nonsense starting to stop. So.
Yeah.
It's
Just,
really
just
the
know,
board.
like, when we
Boards
play
are
high like
killing us.
that, the only thing they could do is that back
We
door.
can stop them every time, but if they're getting the
Right.
board back, it's gonna kill us.
Right. See,
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
every time, bro.
It's alright, let them rack up. We're gonna go to the bonus or somebody gonna foul out. Simple as that.
Wait, who's in my
Got
corner?
him. There
Me.
you go. Hey.
Say.
Yeah, I was stuck over there. I didn't want to cross the shit
How
up.
many fouls you got? How many fouls you got? Oh, you got 3. Oh, I'm about to dog
You
him.
got
It's over.
3.
I'm about to dog him. I'm about to have him keep fouling. Alright, keep fouling. Watch this. You
2,
can't
3.
help it. I'm a playmaker, dog. You think I'm big? I'm gonna get stuck? Nah, ain't none of that. I should have 86. No,
Watch
actually
pink here,
88.
yeah.
I see pink here. Good shit.
Good D. Good D.
I mean, swing that shit. Swing it.
Up left.
Other side. Damn! We look like the Warriors. We look like the Warriors out here. You seen that? Okay, come on. Get your ass up here. Yeah. I'm in. Stop playing. Watch that corner. Get back. No, don't leave him. No mind. Fuck it. Next play. Man, that pass getting slower and slower now.
I got boards.
Board.
Watch my boy.
Shit.
Oh shit. I put you on. Oh, green. Oh, grab that.
Board.
Right here.
Stop right.
Shot.
Wow.
Oh, hold
Whose
that
one
top.
is this?
Yeah,
Whose
we
one
gotta
is
hold
this?
that top. I got
That was
everything
my
left, but if you, they got 2 at the left, yeah, we need top.
Damn.
AI, I can't do that no more.
Where-
I didn't know. It was the AI though.
Hell no.
Could be.
He ain't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. Give me that. Oh.
Just gotta slow it down, bro.
Man, they ain't letting me get no
Yeah.
steals, shit.
Slow down real quick.
Got plenty of time.
Oh, I was on it.
The third.
Alright, 2, 3.
God damn it.
How are they getting these boards, man?
The
Block.
D.
Right behind you.
Good pass.
God,
He
it was
faded
moving.
it.
Son of a bitch.
The rebound.
Son of
That's
a
a 2, we'll
bitch,
take
bro.
it.
Ooh. I rushed it too.
We just get hell opportunities. Shout out to the rebounder we got, man. He's doing his thing. Watch that top, yeah. Shout out to you. You banging them boards crazy. Dude, we just jacking. I know you tired of that shit. Oh, look at you hurt.
RBB? Ah, I was open.
Take.
You're A, bro. Oh, shit.
Word. You made me do that shit. That's why I couldn't.
Well, my playmaker's usually on the one. I don't know why. Maybe you're taller than me.
Yeah, I'm 6'6". Well, how tall are you?
Off. 6'5".
Yeah, I'm 6'6".
Of course, the AI made it go in, bro.
Damn, he
RBA?
can't help himself, bro. He can't help himself, bro. Every time he tap, like, now he making it worse for himself. Now look. Oh,
nope.
Shit.
What a bitch, bro. Ah, I see that dude coming up.
Now he making it hard for
My
himself.
fault.
Cause he really gonna have to guard him.
Shot.
I missed. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, hawk him down. Oh.
Big block.
Thank you.
Shit, boy.
Give it up. Cool.
2-3, 2-3. I got everything left.
Damn, how you get that on? That was all.
Good
block.
block.
That was tough. That was tough.
Man.
Somebody's mic is tripping. I think it's spam.
I hear like they whole background.
I got pink. If he wraps around, grab him. Stuck on that screen.
He said it too late. He said it too late.
I got stuck on 8.
Right.
I got stuck on 8.
Can't fuck with me.
What a dribble. Nice little move right there.
Keep reaching. Now he can't reach no more. Now he gotta face this ride. Every chance he gets.
Shot.
I know every time I get the ball, you get mad. You know you can't reach. I'm gonna foul now. Yeah, come off this court. Yeah. Oh, that's what you do. Snatch block. Free. Fuck out of here. Oh shit!
What?
That nigga fucked the shit
Yeah.
out of me. He's whack ass. There we go.
Oh, I missed it.
Break started good. Yeah, let's press. This how you press a nigga. Yeah, bring your ass here. Yeah, on that and I rip him. Oh, he going behind the back. Stole it. He gonna come back to the top. I see you. You think he's slick? You think he's slick? You think he's slick? Nope. You too little. I don't know why you looked at him. You should have made him better.
One more. One more.
Top left.
Corner.
Top left.
Damn! That shit hit his head. I tried to. This boy, that shit right over his big ass head.
Hit that dude right in the face.
Word, I tried to. I swear to God.
Top left.
Oh my God.
Man, every time I'm open.
You gotta pull
One
that.
time I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even know I got the ball.
Worked out.
I ain't shit. That shit surprised me.
Aboard.
Get up, little boy.
Oh, jeez. Ooh. Lord. The rough first game right here.
mean, I didn't even see their records. Was they any good?
They playing lucky. They was lucky as shit.
They beat him once too.
Yep, he's getting a bunch of lucky shit. Back on, man. That dude don't shoot like that.
Fantastic, bro.
He don't hit like that, bro. I know he don't.
Damn, fuck him up.
There you go. That's white.
They got the fucking glass cleaner at the top, bro.
That bitch bounced back.
But still, that.
Yeah.
And it's their ball.
Yeah. Wow.
Tight beat.
He decides to. Okay.
They looking for that paint. Just gotta be strong.
Get still at. Oh shit! You ain't see that?
I saw Gord.
You should have stole that shit. I seen it happen. Come on. Damn.
Shot.
Oh.
Fucking board.
Good board.
Bullshit.
Board.
Oh shit.
Smoking.
Yo, you gotta
Couldn't
stop.
contest it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Gotta stop.
Smoking.
Oh my goodness.
Smoking again.
Damn.
God damn it.
You gorgeous.
I got it.
Who?
Yup.
Go dunk. Ooh. Buddy. Gorgeous stuff out here.
Yeah, shit. Oh, really? Okay. Get your ass up.
Nigga flopping.
That's all, bro. I don't know. He ran me fuck up.
Nah, nigga.
To a nah,
Pass, good
nigga.
shot.
Hell no, that nigga ran me.
Hell nah, you sweet. That nigga pushed you over like a bitch.
There you go, Stan. There you go. I ain't the one that served. Anybody start with me. Okay? I'm chilling right now. I ain't gonna say shit. So leave
That
me
nigga
alone.
push you over like a composition
Leave me
paper.
alone.
That's crazy. It's so crazy.
Leave me alone, you're. Damn.
Damn. Looking for the three.
Off.
That's all. I played up on that shit. Wow.
So back.
We ain't getting no board.
Black.
I got
I'm
I'm trying down there. I can't really be that mad at him.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
47-second, no threes. Just no threes, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We can give up a 2. We can't give up no threes. Zone up. Everybody in their zone.
I got it. Yeah.
I got him. Switch.
Who the fuck you think you is? You think I'm a baby?
That's game.
You think I'm a baby? What's wrong with this nigga? I'm 210 and a half. No, I'm lying. I'm like 206.
Got him.
Shit
Yeah.
was going on me. Give me that. Oh, he think he
Got it.
What's up? I got 1, 2. Yeah, play me tight. Come on, yeah. Look at you. Looking stupid. What the
No,
fuck?
Oh. Oh, GG, boys.
That nigga just got shot by lightning.
Man, tight D, bro. No fucking threes.
Some
They going for a
bullshit.
3.
Holy shit.
Get there. He off.
I'm there.
Good board.
I'm out of there.
Oh boy. Whew.
Yeah, y'all was scared. Shit, you get more points anyway.
Man, we had to work for that one, huh?
Man.
Gotta play the game. Damn.
Gotta light up a blunt after that one. Yeah.
TK, you want to give it to us?
Hey, Majik. Hey, Majik.
Mm.
You got an Indian customer service name. That shit crazy. Majik.
The dumbest shit.
On the slick, I could picture that though.
Majik.
How you doing? This is Majik.
Can I be of service to you?
AT&T, how can I help you? Looking at Yo, Majik. He's not answering.
Got a rim protector at the
Two sharps, play, rim, and a post.
Why you keep getting two centers?
Shit sucks.
Not really, because on offense, one of them's got to stay out on you. Let's stay loaded 2-3. Come on, man. That's us. Slash and point forward at the point guard. This should be interesting. What you got?
Pure rim at the floor. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Fantastic as shit, boy. Damn, bro. He really jumping at my shit. I got, you wanna go straight to 2-3 or what we doing? You wanna just run on there? Yeah. Same shit.
Yeah. Right corner. Oh, man. Alright. Hey, 2-3, 2-3.
Steal.
Shot. Take. That's you.
I should have just did it when I
went straight for it. Yeah, went
yeah,
straight for
I
it.
should have. I thought it was a jump.
That's what you was doing.
My fault.
Damn, nigga. Hey, Force, you need some help down there?
Oh my god.
Shit.
get it together early on, man.
Whew. Can't deal with a game like that. Worried.
Oh, you shouldn't have forced that.
Damn. That shit goes in
Pass.
Yep.
Good shit, boy. Good shit. Right behind you.
What was you hitting it, dapping?
The pass. The pass.
No reason I ain't shoot that cuss is this fucking pure rim protector.
Nah, you good, bro. If you ain't
A little
feeling
too
it,
close. A little bit too close to
Man,
me.
that's a long
Blocking.
You gotta get there
Tough
faster,
one.
Majik.
You must be bored.
Hey, yo, Fly, set me off balls and roll to that corner sometimes. I got this hash mark. Take.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's my fault. Watch out for that one.
D.
That.
That's us.
Sus.
He kept it in?
Come
Oh
on,
my
bro.
God.
Nigga, why you in my zone?
I know what I'm doing, bro. Relax. I'm trying to bait.
You don't?
Alright, stop talking to me, bro.
No, he did not, bro. Come on, bro.
There you go.
That's on me.
Man, I came down there, got the ball.
RBA? Oh, sorry, never mind. Nope. That's another one.
Fucking shot, bro.
I got him. Stay up.
Hey, bro, you gotta play your zone.
Shot.
That shit is irritating.
To your zones, get to your zone, get to your zone. Fuck.
We're still Majik.
Cross me.
Good shot.
It's a rip, bro. Come on. Good D.
jump.
Good D.
Boards. Right corner. Nigga. I'm crackhead.
Damn. I'm throwing some crazy passes.
I got him stats on. Oh, yeah, good shit. It won't let me off of him. God damn, is he pushing my stupid ass?
Oh, good. Better than a 3.
I was trying to get to the 3. They had a dude right behind him.
That's all you.
I was so late. Damn.
Cross me.
I'm cutting. Oh. Got that.
We need an off ball somewhere, either for the pure sharp or the pure stretch, so we can get some opening.
You don't want it for me.
And then you roll.
Got you.
That is pure rim.
Come on, man. Niggas is spamming, bro.
Stay on that right. Yeah, that right cush.
Got you.
That mine's go left. We got
big
fucked
roll
up.
around.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn.
Living
So
100.
tough.
Two of our mans are cold. Come on, man. I'm a whole lot down. It's crazy. I'm helping you. Yeah, I got your help, bro.
That's their ball?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Get corner, get corner.
2 over here.
Good board.
RBA? Oh, good take. You good.
Good take.
Good shit, Good shit, Majik.
Steal. Shit.
I got your help, G.
Got 2 at the left. I need somebody to
Got your
top
LG.
with me. Good shit.
There you go, good shot, Majik.
Good board.
Good shit, let's go.
Good shot, bro. And they're holding it down.
That's you, Pink. Hey, Fly, I think you set that screen, you could just go right in, because he's switching.
Smoking. I got it.
What the
Damn.
fuck, bro?
It's alright.
You're straight, Majik.
Yo, I'm about to mute you, bro.
Alright, man. This is the the half for us.
This fucking just rim protector ain't leaving me. Sucks. I don't want to bring him up. I mean, I really want to bring him up top because he's going to cause more of a problem up top and contesting shit. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah. Somebody set him an off ball up top because it's going to bring him out the paint. If you do miss, we'll have a better chance of getting the rebound.
I got you.
Good shot, boy.
You are killing it. Shit. Got two over there.
D.
Shit.
RBA? Ooh.
Yeah, fouled. I don't know what to do with you, bro.
Got two over here.
No way, that little bullshit. Hey, buddy.
Should have been. It was a little too deep for a no-dimer.
Is this what they've gone to? Oh my god. Loaders.
Rebound.
Hell of an alley. Oh my god. Damn, I ran by him. Good block.
Good D.
Hmm. Oh, they really can't do nothing with him. This is crazy. Okay. Sheesh.
Shot.
That's the first time that dude made a mistake all game. Oh man. Oh shit. Man, I should threw that. Yeah, right. Ooh. Oh man. What a move. Fucking way. God damn.
See what happened when he shut the fuck up?
That's a little bit annoying. Oh my goodness. Fuck that all up.
I'm trying to throw that shit, bro. I swear to God, I threw it to him. That shit wasn't letting me.
Damn. Shit.
Oh my god. I give up.
Yo, 2K is something else, bro. Jump shot right there. That was definitely a layup.
That shit was ass. For sure.
It's fucking bullshit, dude. Second time that shit's done happened, my fucking bar goes up and back down.
The AI really just took that coast to coast?
Reset my fucking connection.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm trying to come back to the ball.
Well, that sucked.
Yeah. 6 fucking shots, bro. It's so terrible.
Ludo's on literally left me one time. It was that one thing I hit at the top.
Y'all still hooping? I'm trying to pick up a lot. What we doing?
Yeah, cool.
Alright.
Remember what I said? Always the last one.
He wasn't bad. He was just on some funny shit.
Right,
I wouldn't say he was
stupid.
bad. He was decent. Just
Right.
talk too much.
Talk too much. You want to pop shit to me like my name is Majik. I told you this like 20 times. I'm not answering unless you call me by my name, bro. Y'all over there gassing them. You thinking that shit cool? That shit not cool, bro. I really have him booted offline. You gotta cut it out. Alright, acting cool. I'm being nice. I'm being nice by not saying
Just put my post up for lot. Hit this
One
L.
thing, I fly 420. I'm a motherfucker. Couldn't do nothing with you in that last game, bro. Oh, shit. They definitely didn't have the answer, bro. That was killing them.
That bill go crazy, bro. It's only 89 too.
I don't know.
Imagine if it was a 99. Fuck. See what this dude is.
Breath hot as hell, Kush.
My fault. Just lit up this blunt. I'm extra hitting this motherfucker.
Word, that's just
Yeah, what up? We need a lock. We got both join at the same time, so I mean, it don't matter.
Just find out who had the better lock. No hard feelings.
Nah, that's cool. You could have it, but if you need one in the future, I got like a 93 1%. So just let me know.
Oh shit.
Oh, bro said he got 93 and slid.
Oh,
Well, he
he
only
said
played
he
like
had a
100
98
games.
lock.
Let's see how many games he played.
98. Yeah, hey,
Yeah, it is a 98 lock. It's all good. What you got? You got a pure lock?
He said, I ain't got what he got.
I ain't got no fucking What the y'all was supposed to
Nigga,
say?
I ain't got
I'm
what he
debating
got.
about standing in this motherfucker. Y'all we got 90.
God damn, nigga, you cheated. Nigga, damn. I was saying that to be funny.
98 lock, 91 win percentage.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, we playing with him, bro. Fuck that. I'm sorry, bro. You can watch. We on Twitch right now. No, I'm fuck with you, bro.
That would have been automatic. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That nigga said I'm a 99 lot. Then slid 93.
You got a game invite, bro? You need one?
That's funny.
I'm joining up. I ain't get one. But I'm joining.
Oh man, you better not be trash, bro. You be trash, oh man. Cause we always got that saying, bro. The last man always trash. So I'm trying to tell you. Just don't prove me wrong. I might be
At the
trash.
lot, though.
You know?
It's different with the lot. Just make sure we score on the half court. So our stretch and our point guard ain't gotta keep trying to get in the fast break. Yeah, I do need a invite. I can't join off of that.
He don't even give me the option to invite you. I don't know if it's because you're offline or what. It's just an invisible option. It won't let me click on it.
Hold on, I'm about to join. Oh, dang. As soon as I join the lobby. Yeah, I got one. I'm joining.
Yo, you in here, bro? You got that squad?
No, it's at 60%.
Alright.
There you go. I ain't got no.
We all at the dope, Magic.
Hey, we in zone? I got the point guard.
2-3, unless they're just utter trash. Locking point guard at the top. Me and DJ at the bottom.
Yo.
We're gonna run a 2-3.
Yeah, but I'm right.
They got a glass at the power forward.
Ain't got no playmaker.
Shot creating rebounder.
Too small.
bottom left.
Hey, cool.
Somebody got still in that hash, man. Get that hash. The corner, man. Nobody in the corner gotta get that hash.
Pass. Shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I play corner, I usually play up top until somebody drops down to it. Dummies. Ooh, he wasn't ready.
Yeah, I don't want
Pass though. It's all good as long as we get the bucket.
It looked like he was coming to me.
You got corner threes, huh?
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, my
just making
percentage now.
sure. I'll set you up with something you don't do.
No, I
Had all three of them
I
bitches
said
jumping at me. That's another one.
I was fucking sleeping. That's my fault. You see that dude right there? Looking right at my guy. My dudes ain't playing.
Shot,
missed.
pass.
That's mine.
Gotta play up on those,
why you
man.
leave? Why you
Gotta
leave?
play
Why
high.
Lock leave? The Lock just left.
The pass. Shot. Let's go. Yeah, they getting hella threes. We just gotta eliminate threes. If they get a 2
Going
or
for
will.
team
Fuck
again.
it. RBY on
I need like 2 or 3 more shots. I think it's 3. Shot.
Pass. Jesus.
Listen here.
Do we need to go to man?
Nah,
We
that
can,
one's
bro.
me,
If...
but the other one.
Oh, alright.
You gotta stay in zone.
Big fucking white man. Come on, yo. Top key.
See,
That's
I
every
can't play
time,
both
bro.
sides. I gotta. Hey,
I got
he keep dropping
everything
his
left side. The first person
Wait,
that
hey,
drops left
you
side,
go
I
up.
have
You
everything
come up
over
top
there.
with. Hey, you come up top with me and let him go down. Mine. It ain't nothing. I ain't trying to say anything, but you keep falling down. The 3, so I can play on both sides, and then 3, 2. Look, stay on that. Yeah, stay on the right
Yeah,
side.
I grab.
If the ball, look, there you go. Yeah. If the ball come up on the, there we go. If the ball come up on the right, there we go. See, right now. Look,
Fuck, bro.
The D. Nah,
Wouldn't
we
let me
there.
fucking put my hand up.
Get back. Now, when the ball come up, stay on the left side, bro. See, that's what I mean. I can't press. And then we both go over there at the same time. Then we both. I should have jumped.
RBA.
Yeah.
That was a close one. Fuck. A little bit sooner we would have had it. You still almost got your team, DJ? I'm trying to get
still
around
need like
you on my
2
phone.
or 3 shots. I mean, if it gets 2 goals, I'll just hold it, I guess.
I mean, you could use it, honestly.
Probably use the 50 seconds if we don't get closer.
That's me.
Got that one. RBY?
Yeah, like, that's why I keep going.
Shy boy.
Yeah, like 1 or 2. Or 2 more.
If you open,
Bro,
call
I
it
ain't
out,
pressing
bro.
no more. I ain't
Let's
pressing.
call it.
Well, I'm listening to music. I don't think everybody wants to hear it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no
Know what
doubt.
I mean?
That's, I mean, they had 2 people on that right side. Fuck. Cross me, D. I was gonna get you on that rap. Pick up. Corner. That's all good. Shot. Got 21. Thought I did. Good D. Great. Pass. Got take. I'm gonna go ahead and use it so it'll extend into the corner.
Get up.
Shit, I had 2. I didn't
Man,
know which one he
we're
was
leaving
passing
that
to.
hash open. Yeah, I know it's a tough decision when you see 2 open. That's correct. You want to switch sides, D? Since it don't matter.
Don't matter. It don't
We
matter.
can fluctuate. If you could see if you do better on the left and I do better on the right. It don't matter though.
The next time
Now,
come down,
what
go to
he's
the right,
saying
go to the
is
left.
he trying to press
Alright.
it and have you replace him on left or right. I know what he trying to do.
I'm not even gonna press no more. Cause I'm not even getting stuff. So that's not even point.
Fuck.
I got you. Stay over there.
Well, I got right. You get left.
D.
Chill.
Got 2 takeovers.
Missed it.
It's you. A shot.
I got right. Do I get left? I got right every time. I ain't pressing no more. Good D. Thank you. Alright, I get up and go. Oh, he just got right past me. Get D down, pal.
That's off. Good D. Shit.
You got left. You don't need to.
Hey, bro, I'm not even pressing, my nigga. Like, I don't need you commentating on everything.
So
Like,
you-
relax, bro. Like,
That's
relax,
me,
bro. Relax.
Okay. That's why.
Oh, fuck.
No, it's not. I need you to relax, bro. Damn.
Pass, boy.
Okay. I got
Hey,
right. You got
big,
left.
I know
if
what you
one-
got,
if two
bro.
drop
I know
on
what
this
I'm
right
doing,
side,
bro. Like, relax. Like,
I'ma
come
stay
on.
You
hash,
come
alright?
into me every.
No, I know what I'm doing, bro. You know what it's called? It's called
Okay.
tricking them. It's called baiting them. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to create steals because you're not getting steals. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know why?
Whatever
If
you
try to
doing,
get
you need
hit,
to worry about what
you're not
you
even
doing. I know
zone.
what I'm
Board.
doing. Like, worry about what you doing. If you
Yeah,
saying you
so-
playing that side, play that side, and play that side.
Stay right, D. I got it this position.
In a way. Everything.
Thank you.
Good D.
You scared? I get the
Shot.
I get that.
Swear 2K ain't shit.
We
I got
good.
a-
Oh shit.
The block.
Good D.
Block.
Ah.
Shit, boy.
Ran right by it.
Jump. Oh shit.
Oh, come
My bad, I was recording it. My bad.
That was definitely a recordable one. How you break his ankles? Holy shit.
on. Oh, that's a fucking bucket, dude. Come on, yo.
Right again.
Fucking bullshit.
I shot Dude, that's
I got
fine.
right, D. Stay over
Go
there,
to
stay
left.
over there. I got right.
I shoot it.
Watch yellow. What? Okay. I don't know if yellow's a main shooter, but when they flood
He's
one
AI.
side, we both got to pull. Wrap. Pass.
Fucking started out perving and missed my last three. That's real tough. Stay over that side, coach.
Over here with the help. Slide, slide. There you go. Stay up top. There you go.
Wow.
Good D.
Running bullshit.
God, I gotta fucking hit those, bro.
What?
Pass.
Yep. Bro, what is this? I'm lagging like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it hit me at first, too.
I'm good now, though.
Pass. Soft, good D.
Oh! That's me. I have to let it come back.
Good D.
Oh! Hey, I thought you was A. I had to get you. I know it. Big, my fault. Oh, come on. That's not you.
It's off. Stay right, D.
Good little help. Did I take it too?
I don't know if he could shoot. Can he shoot? Says glass cleaner. Or he was a shot rebounder, wasn't he?
Us.
Eddie, gang.
Completely fucked. The right side, D. Alright.
Oh shit. It's my fault. good pass, man.
Fuck. Bitch, give me that. Give me that. Timeout. Fuck that. Bitch. Pass. I missed somehow. That's fucking awesome.
I keep hitting RBA. That's my bad.
To God, I'm just trying to stop, bro. That was on me lockdown. But yeah, I mean, if I run up there like that, I'm gonna just run back if I see you up there.
Yeah, I'm automatically gonna go up there for him. If they got the ball on the side of the court. On the hole and they got the ball on the side of the court.
Yeah, you can stay up there and shit. Find the dude.
Hey, fella, this is gonna be my last one. My son finna pull up.
Damn.
Hard to play 2K when you got an 8-month-year-old. I ain't gonna lie to you. Little niggas is crazy.
I hear that.
Be glad when you get walking and talking.
I feel like all my friends got kids except for me. Crazy.
Keep it that way, G.
I know, right?
Telling you. It don't even be the kid or the money. It be the mama, dog. If you do have babies, just make sure you get the right mama, dog.
Yeah, right. Pick it right,
These
huh?
bitches is crazy. What's
Word, I pray for niggas that got bad baby
Hell
mamas,
yeah.
dog, I swear.
Nigga, shit changed when you have a kid, dog. I'm telling you right now.
I already know. I've seen it.
You think you got that one, nigga? You pop that baby in? Oh yeah.
Oh.
I wish I could claim that move I just did right there, but that was completely by accident. I was trying to pop my badge, did a little in and out.
Well, I was throwing the ooh, they playing.
Guess it was good that we switched to the left side, huh, Kush? It's apparently the side that you can hit the threes on.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was passing it and I didn't mean that.
Oh, I thought you wanted that shit. That's why I gave it to you.
Nah, hell no, hell no. I was looking down, texting my baby mom. I thought I was passing that hoe in. Oh, my bad. No, you good. I'm set the screen, bro. My bad. All in the way.
Oh, hell no. Oh, that's a block. I keep forgetting it's a block. Lock on me. No turnover. There we go. Good time out. Save my ass.
Good pass, nigga.
And I just had to set my feet, make sure the wind was right.
There we go. Oh.
Damn.
Fucking bitch.
I'm beating. I got two over there. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Damn. I tried to do a step.
Got who turbo.
That good. I already know. I thought I was on it.
You had him.
Oh shit. Yep. I didn't even have to do it.
Didn't even know he's over.
It's gonna pack your shit anyway, bitch. Hold on. Fuck.
Oh, come on. AI is always right there, bro. Damn.
Bitch is trying to face guard 2-3 deep on everybody to get the ball.
Really? Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think he was
My
gonna
bad,
get it.
my bad.
That's why I called timeout.
Wow.
Big rebound. Big three.
Wah, wah, wah. Feel like a real asshole missing that one.
Oh, all in your shit.
Damn. I really thought he was passing me. I didn't know I shot it.
Tried rapping all the way around, got stuck. It's money.
I'm not gonna deep range that out there. Did it wait too long? Oh, way. What? I swear to God, my bar just lagged and did a bounce back for no reason, bro. Just did an extra one.
Woo,
Swear to God.
working the fucking place.
Swear my dude like
Steve.
switch and it just turns off.
Ah, jump. Fucking bum.
I love that. What? Didn't even reach?
Good shit, y'all.
Yeah.
Still hooping, DJ?
I don't know. I was honestly thinking about getting on PUBG for a minute.
Yeah. 'Cause we lost the center too, so.
Yeah. It'll be the perfect time. Play a couple games of PUBG and then I'll have to leave and go get in the shower and then head down to the club.
Got my back.
Yeah, big bro. Bro. Looks so much better than amateur
Shit
sticky.
off a lag out, bro. Or not a lag out. Like they quit and they gave us a.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna add y'all up, man.
Oh yeah. Definitely good to have a point guard on deck.
He kept trying to argue with me. I was just trying to argue with him.
Shit, it's all good. We won. Shit.
Like, he was trying to tell me how to play defense. I'm like, bro, I got it. Once he understood that, we started going up.
Yep.
It be the locks that talk too much or what?
Yes, bro. They think they the best
Maybe
defenders on the game.
they think they know everything because
It's the second
how
one.
they are.
Right, and this
Oh,
the
I
second
feel like
one
every
that came
lock's
at
like
me,
that.
right? That's funny. This is the second one.
Yeah,
that
right.
came at me. Yo,
Like my homeboy Bear, he a lockdown. He be doing the same shit. Like,
so, oh, you need
getting
to
on
be on
people.
this side. You need, like, bro, how can you touch? Like, I was gonna break it down to him, but then I was like, you know what, Joe? I'm gonna just tell him straightforward. Just worry about what you need to worry about. Just do that. You saying you gonna do it? Do it. I don't care. I ain't tell you not to do it.
Ace?
But you're complaining about what I'm doing. What I'm doing is actually working. Y'all just not getting the stills off of it. You know what I mean? So that's why I told him you need to stop pressing.
yeah.
Like, I need to press. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't getting no stills. Like, I let that be known. Like, what you mean? You told me you press, you ain't get no stills, bro. Like chill. Like, I ain't stressing you about you not getting stills, so don't stress me about, about that. It's working. It's just you're not the one that's getting stills. You'll get the still, but they'll pick the ball right back up from you.
Oh yeah. They was smacking threes at the beginning of that game. They was trying.
Right. The
Especially
reason
when
why
open.
it was working, the reason why they were shooting threes like that is because he told me to play aside. Like, but you're pressing. So I was like, fuck him. I'm gonna do what I want to do now. So what I did was, when he coming up the court, I would shadow him coming up the court. You know what I mean? Like, just on the left side of him. So if the dude get past him, I'm right there. You know what I mean? Most majority of the time, the dude got past him. And that's why he was shooting threes. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know what I'm doing. I got a lot of wins just like you got a lot of
It'd be
wins.
like that.
But you're a lock. I'm a point guard. Like,
You don't
I
fuck
know
with the
what
shooter
it is.
games, huh?
You said what?
You don't got no shooter games, huh?
Every game you can name, nigga.
Sound like me. Got everything.
Yeah, every game, bro.
We about to run some pub. You're more than
I got
welcome.
pub,
If not, you know what I'm saying? Just hit us up. It's whatever.
I got pub. I got any game you name right now. I got.
Yeah, I gotta be versatile too, bro. I can't just play one thing. That shit. Whew.
I mean,
Get
it's
wore out.
pretty much
It's my
2K
main
for like
game,
the first.
But I'm a
for the
gamer
first couple
first.
months.
I'm a gamer first. Like,
They're
before
playing a little bit of
2K.
everything.
Like, some people just 2K players. Like, I'm a gamer. Like, I have my gaming collection is ridiculous. I go over like 300, 400 games. I gotta buy me a new hard drive too. I stream too. That's all I gotta get. I gotta get me a hard drive. Probably give me like.
Let's see if I can pick up a fourth real quick.
Yeah, I got 116 games right now between the hard drive and what I got on here.
Damn, I only got like 40 something games. I do got a couple package games though, like fucking Halo Master Chief, fucking all the Call of Duties, pretty much all the Battlefields, all the, you know what I'm saying. I've always been a big shooter.
I got Mega Man.
Thea
I
Webb
got
just kind of got
everything.
into it like that.
I got
Red
all the
Dead.
2Ks from 16.
You got Red Dead.
He probably does. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I want to get it.
Game was a
How
shit.
you ain't got Red Dead?
Red Dead is dope.
Yeah,
What
I want
did
to
I
play
tell you about
that.
that the other day?
I want to play that. Oh wow, I want to play that. That's so dope.
I think you were like, what was that cowboy game that came out?
Where my PUBG at?
Yeah, cause me and Webber got into it. We were talking about buying Ghost Recon, and he was like, "No, I'm not buying it." I was like, we got into a little argument about it. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be just like the Division." I'm like, "Oh, it's nothing like the Division. Like, I don't know what you're talking about." Like, no, because you're gonna play it, and we're gonna stop playing it. I'm like, that's every game you buy. You play it for a while, and then you stop playing it, and then you go back to it if you really like it. Like, come on. We're just going back and forth about dumb shit.
What you doing? Like what you doing that game? What'd you say the game was?
Ghost Recon Breakpoint is about to come out in October.
Oh, that shit? Oh.
Like that 4v4, oh, not 4v4, but like 4-player. It's like tactical shooter.
Oh, just like Wildlands.
What's that?
So just like Wildlands.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a sequel to the Wildlands.
Yeah, Wildlands is good.
Yeah.
They got a couple new games coming out. It's gonna be super fire, like that new Call of Duty.
I ain't getting Call of
we
Duty
got
though.
what? They finally brought back Call of Duty that's not futuristic. It's modern. There's modern warfare.
I don't care.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit as fuck.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I said I'm not giving Call of Duty no more of my money. Like when they did fighting on a spaceship nonsense. I was like, no, I don't care what they come out.
That's what I'm saying though. They're bringing it back to when Call of Duty was good. Modern Warfare days.
It won't be though. It's gonna be some dumb
yes,
shit
it will.
in there,
It's gonna be
like,
just like. Did you not see the preview? It's already launched.
Fucking grapple gun.
It's lit as fuck.
God's
Trust
sake.
me. No grappling. No fucking space rockets. Nothing.
Bullshit.
It's Modern Warfare, bro.
They'll
I'm
have
telling you.
something dumb.
With updated graphics, it's gonna be lit as fuck. I got one.
Can't do it. You can buy it for me though. One.
Nah. You gonna buy 2K for me?
Cash have over right now. That's it.
2K comes around. I'm gonna ask you for an early Christmas present.
Oh no.
Ah, that's my boy, man.
Just fucking with him. Whoa. Who's this guy? This guy look like he in it to win it over here.
Sent them a fucking party invite.
Fuck, you get a clown mask.
Hey.
I don't know, that bitch is dope as fuck, though.
Kill him off.
Oh, he better be. Better have 20 kills in this game. Looking like that.